Oh well. I don't know if the Wi-Fi... I think I'm just gonna go back around to the front. This is gonna... This Wi-Fi is gonna cut out. I'm gonna change locations really quick. Do me a favor and pop a thumbs up on there for me before you go, just in case this cuts out. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? I'm at my library. I was doing some research on some stuff, and I'm at the back where it's a little more quiet, but I think the Wi-Fi signal's kind of leak, so I'm gonna run around. Leak, kind of weak. So I'm gonna run around to the front. I was gonna just do a quick recording of my topic at hand here, but I figured, hey, why not get in some live time? Thank you so much. It's good to see you too. Uh, Good to see you. Good to be seen. Yeah, I think I'll do a lot better if I go around here to the front. It's just always kind of awkward recording in front of people, especially young people. And there's a lot of young people out here tonight. Maybe I'm not the only one recording. Something's going on. Young people are so funny. Okay, let me get to where I'm going. All right. Yeah, people stare. And there's some really nice spots at this library, but they're either indoors where I can't really speak as loud as I want to, or there's one quiet area. But even that quiet area is kind of echoey, so I'm going to do it like this. I'm not going to be able to hold my notes the way I want it to, but I'm going to wing it. So, this is basically going to be me talking just a little bit, not a whole lot, about depression in the business world. I know one of the reasons why I want to leave my current, business situation, and no, I'm holding it up with my hand. No selfie stick. I gotta get me a selfie stick. But this will work. Another reason I went to the back is because I was trying to put my phone, like sit my phone up on something. Hey, do you mind if I use your book? I hope this isn't considered like rude or defacing property, but hey, that might work. Puts me in a shadow, but yeah, I won't. I don't want anybody coming out saying that. But I went to the back to see if I could set my phone up on something. If I can remember, I'll bring a tripod next time. But in any case, the show must go on. I got 2 websites I was researching with. I could probably go a lot deeper. But 2 websites talking about like depression in the corporate world and depression among entrepreneurs. It's kind of like yeah, that'd be kind of a poetic, kind of artistic. Maybe I could, hey, talk to the statue. No, that would be more weird than me. Just that would be more weird than me just holding my phone up. I think we live in a society nowadays, actually, where, especially around the young people, if they see a phone up, they're either thinking I'm doing a Snapchat or a FaceTime or a YouTube channel. It's like actually the norm now. But that's okay. I don't feel bad. It's just I didn't want to disturb anybody on the inside. It's really beautiful inside this particular library, but I didn't want to disturb anybody. Okay, so Psychology Today. This is from Psych. I got some quick notes because I don't want to make this too long. My daughter already fell asleep in there on one of the tables, so I know she's ready to go home. But Psychology Today, it's an older article, online article from June 9th, 2016. And then a Forbes article. Okay, little boy. And then a Forbes article from June 8th, 2018. So I don't watch TV a lot. I don't watch TV at all. I have a TV, but it's not connected to anything. So I don't watch TV. I don't keep up with celebrities. I don't keep up with anything at all until my coworkers tell me about it. And so I was reading in this the Forbes article about I guess a lady. I don't know if she's a designer, or celebrity, but Kate Spade, and then the Anthony Bourdain guy. I think he was one of the famous chefs. I hear about stuff like this through my coworkers because I don't watch the news and I don't watch TV, so I found out about it after the fact, and I didn't really pay attention to it even when they told me. But those two names came up in these articles that I was talking about, and it's talking about depression and mental illness. And when you make it big, it doesn't escape. Mental health and wellness is something that can affect all socioeconomic class, all people from all religions and backgrounds. It's just depending on. Sorry, I'm dropping stuff here. Depending on your background and your circumstance, how you choose or are able to treat it or deal with it. But it really can affect us all. So, okay, let me look at my notes here real quick. I got down here as far as entrepreneurship and business. Hello, Rich Kid, King Smith. What's going on? What's going on? I think I put it in the title, but this is gonna be a somewhat quick live stream about depression in the business world. So, like, if you didn't know, my whole channel is me documenting me trying to make it big. Well, not even make it big, but just I'm trying to learn how to be my own boss. I'm trying to walk away and get away from my almost 20 plus career and just really do something different. And I know it's going to take a whole lot of work, a whole lot of effort, much more effort and work than just going to a job. But there's some characteristics that are known to entrepreneurs and business people, and they are ambition, being an overachiever, being a perfectionist, being a workaholic, being really laser focused on their goals. And sometimes these same characteristics are the things that can, hope I don't get ate up by mosquitoes out here. These same characteristics that make a successful entrepreneur or just business person in the career world, in the corporate world, those same things can really put you at risk for depression and some other mental illnesses that you need to keep an eye on. So when we are focusing on making it, getting ahead, succeeding, so much energy has to go into the business that a lot of times we put relationships on the wayside. And having strong relationship with people really helps in maintaining a healthy mindset, a healthy psyche, just a healthy personality, because we need each other. No man is alone. We need each other for so many things, not just the physical, but the psychological, mental, and spiritual. Even to tell, I don't want to butcher any Bible verses here, but I think it says something in the Bible about let two or more of us be on one accord, or something in the spirit shall be present. Y'all correct me on that if I'm wrong, but the point of me saying that is we need each other for so many things, just that bonding. So a lot of times when we're trying to build ourselves up in business, whether you're on your own or in the corporate world, we can isolate and just be so laser focused on achieving that goal and getting ahead, and that can put you at risk for burning out, just stressing yourself out in a lot of ways. So okay, I got the characteristics there. I'm looking at notes here, by the way, that I was writing down from my research. Pitfalls. Thank you. I'm gonna make it after all. Now people really gotta look, but I don't care. Pitfalls of this type of behavior, which is a positive behavior, really can be positive, but depression and some other mental illnesses can come from the fact that a lot of times people's identities are based solely on their achievement. So they become their work. They are the job. They are the career. And that can be really unhealthy because, well, on the one hand, if you're succeeding, that's boosting you up more and more, right? The more money you make, the more successful you are, the more fame and fortune that you gain, you're feeling great. But everybody falls sooner or later. Everybody fails in one way or another. And if you're basing who you are on your achievements only, you're gonna take that pretty deeply, because when you fail, you're gonna feel like a failure. When you lose out on money or don't make the deal, or in some way you lose out in your business, you're gonna take that to heart, and that can really affect who you are as far as just loving yourself for who you are and not just what you're doing. So the identity can be based solely on your achievement. And here's another thing. People think that when they make it, and this goes with people winning in the lottery too, a lot of times people think that when they make it big, when they get rich, all my problems will disappear. No. Um, Thinking things will magically change once you achieve your goals. No. You have to work on you first. And I'm talking to myself. I'm saying you, but I'm saying it in a generic way. I, as a person, have to make sure that whatever issues I have going on right now, as as the income level I am now, as the worker bee that I am now, whatever psychological, emotional, and mental issues that I've got going on right now, if I don't take care of them, nip them in the bud, intervene, and get treatment, and just make sure that I'm okay with who I am now, none of that's gonna go away when I get the big money, which I know I'm gonna make the big money. Those issues are still gonna be there, and you can only throw money. What do they say? Money doesn't make you happy. Sometimes you can buy things that can make you happy, but that's only short term. You're still going to have those core beliefs, those core issues, and those mental patterns and mental ways of thinking that if they're not healthy, it's going to bring you down one way or another. So yeah, not being happy with yourself. Wait, hold on. I got scribbly, scratchy notes here. Thinking things will magically change once you achieve your goals and success. So if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy regardless of wealth and success. That's what I was saying. So you do need to work on your inner. You do need to work on your inner demons, and get your mind right before you get anything else right. Because your health is your wealth. I think that's what I got as my summary topic, but I'm going to touch on it now. Your health is your wealth. Your physical health is your wealth, and your mental health is your wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if your body's falling apart and if your mind is falling apart, it is all for naught. So take care of yourself first. Get help as an intervention. Okay, so this is advice for myself and for others going into the business world. We really, really, really got to get rid of that stigma of getting help for any issue. Hold on, let me touch on something else first, because this is gonna segue into this. So there is a difference between mental illness and circumstance. I know a lot of times when people talk about being depressed or depression, the first thing somebody wants to say is, well, what are you depressed about? What are you depressed for? Back up. There's a difference between mental illness, which is an ongoing situation, and a chronic illness, versus circumstances. Sometimes a person can get depressed over something, and sometimes a person is a depressed person. It's just part of who they are. So the difference between mental illness and circumstances: if your feelings and your suffering come from a larger pattern, seek professional help. There can be, and when I say larger pattern, I mean it can come from a biological inheritance. It can come from a long-standing situation of how you were raised, or certain relationships that you were in. But in either case, treatment is still available. And then, of course, if you find that the way you're feeling or what you're going through is relatively new to you, thankful. I'm hoping that I can bring some valuable information. I'm glad some of this resonates with you. If anything that you're feeling is relatively new to you, it's probably circumstantial. Maybe a new change in your life that you weren't prepared to handle, or maybe something traumatic. But in either case, whether it's long-standing or a new issue, you can find a solution. You can find treatment that is available, and always reach out for help. Me being a single woman by myself, a single parent by myself, I am used to doing stuff by myself. I'm used to being independent. Being independent is a great thing. Doing things on your own is a great thing, but you always need to know when to reach out for help. We all need help. We all need each other. I'm touching back on that subject again. This is something right there that I need to work on with myself, that as much as I can do by myself, I need to reach out for help. Whether it's help with my house, help with my business, help with my kids, help with my mind. We all need to reach out and get help. And the more often you can do that, the better. So that brings me back up to what I was saying before. Get help as an intervention. So you're going through a crisis, you're going through some struggles. Get help as an intervention. Nip it in the bud. Then get maintenance checkups. Seeing somebody once or twice a year, even as a short-term, just touching bases with a professional counselor or a trained therapist, that can help. Just to touch bases and to get your mind right and evaluate where you are as far as dealing with your situation or your mindset or anything that you might be feeling that you know is not right. Let's see, the very characteristics that distinguish successful people in the corporate world or their social circle of professional peers can be the very things that hold them back from getting help. So, and then it also says there's a link between creativity and mental illness. Now I'm jumping back and forth between the Forbes, the Forbes article and the one on Psychology Today. I'll put the links in the description. I'm jumping back and forth between my notes, but the Psychology Today article is called "Even CEOs Get the Blues," and that was published June 9th, 2016. And then the Forbes magazine online article says a few thoughts for entrepreneurs that wrestle with depression. And that's the one that mentioned the Kate Spade incident and Anthony Bourdain last year, where they're high profile celebrities. They are successful. They're making the money. They have the prestige. They have the fan following. But, and I don't know the details, but it got so bad for them with the depression or anxiety or whatever mental illness that they were dealing with that they took their own lives. So, yeah, money doesn't matter. Money doesn't cure all. And for whatever reason, they. Hold on one second. I just read your question. For whatever reason, they decided they couldn't cope. Um, it just goes to show that depression is a real thing that can cause real harm, real suffering, and that we all need to be trying to get ourselves together. Let me pop on this so I can read your question again. Oh, it's not supposed to be top chat. It's supposed to be live chat. There we go. Now it stays up there. I'm trying to get into my own business, so this is great info. What business am I trying to get in? I'm trying to get in the business where I don't have to go work for the man. I don't have a specific business in mind. I'm doing a lot of e-commerce stuff. I got two websites, sleepgoodies.com, where sleep is good, and Soak Wash Rinse. They're two very small product things. I'm really just getting my feet wet in the whole business world. I've been watching YouTube videos for just about the last 2 years, seeing how so many people are just, really able to find some financial freedom and own their own time by opening their own online boutiques. So that's what I've got. I've got two online boutiques, the Sleep Goodies, where I'm selling sleep-related items, and the Soak Wash Rinse, which is it's bath bombs. It's bath bombs. But I do plan on getting some more other products on there. Hopefully a lot more exclusive products, because I know when I had my marketing consultation a couple weeks ago or a week or two ago, I already know it, but the guy did bring it to my attention, like, okay, well, what makes your brand different than anybody else? Because I'm looking at your products, and your products are pretty basic. I mean, somebody can come to Target or Walmart and get these items, which is true. But also, I do know that some people don't like shopping. Some people do not like leaving their house. Some people do not like shopping at all. Hello. And some people really prefer having things delivered to their homes. That's why Amazon is really taking off. Because some people just like get on the computer, tap, swipe, get on their phone, and they can order things. So that's what my business is right now. However, this is not my only notebook. I've got lots of huge ideas that I want to do, that I'm really trying to educate myself on. And most of it is going to be products. One of them is service oriented. And that's what I'm trying to do as far as entrepreneurship. Mostly products, online products, and then an online service that I'm trying to learn how to get into. And another lesson that I learned a couple years ago, that is very wise to have multiple income streams. So I'm trying to set a couple things. It seems like I'm doing a whole lot of different stuff, but I'm really not. I'm trying to do, I don't want all my eggs in one basket. I'm trying to spread out a little bit of what I'm doing, so that eventually some of them can become automated and just be a smaller source of income that I don't have to manage too much. And then the other one is kind of like something I'm a little bit more passionate about, that I'm going to be enjoying doing and spending all my time doing. Because that's another thing as far as mental health. And I wanted to put a note on here. I think it reminded me when it said something like the difference between mental illness and circumstances, if certain feelings and sufferings come from a larger pattern. Okay, so I know I'm not the only one that says this, but I really hate my job. I'm thankful, Lord. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I know I'm blessed. I really hate my job. I don't like what I do for a living. I don't say what my job is because I don't want to get fired. You know, social media can be really, really can bite you in the butt nowadays. But I'm not happy with what I'm doing, and going in there every day. This is going on year 19 for me. I've been there for almost 20 years now, and there were some times and years when I would remember driving down the highway on my way to work, and I'm crying. I'm crying. I do have an Instagram. I don't have everything connected the way it should be, but I do have one, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm being consistent with both. But I remember going, driving down the highway weeks and weeks at a time, and I'm crying, bawling, like, I really don't want to go here. I really don't want to go here. I really don't want to go here. And it can be depressing. It can be depressing. But on the other hand, going back to what I was saying earlier, with it being inherited, I do know that depression runs in my family. Depression runs in my family, so it's something that I'm aware of. I know that I have a baseline for it. I know I'm at risk for it. So there are certain situations I make sure I don't put myself in. Certain people I make sure hey, family dream, what's going on? How y'all doing? Glad that you can join me. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in. I'm trying not to get too low and too dark, but basically this conversation is talking about depression in the business world, and how sometimes people, as successful as you can be in the business world, whether you're doing your own business or working for somebody else, you really do need to be mindful of your mental health and mental wellness, and cool. Your mental health and mental health and wellness, because there's so much stress and so much pressure that you do have to put on yourself when you're trying to make your own business. That always keep in mind, your health is your wealth, not just your physical wealth, but your mental, psychological, and spiritual health is your wealth. And if you don't have all that together, it can suffer. You can make everything. It can affect everything. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over my words, everybody. But anyway, so that's what I was talking about. The Psychology Today article, the Forbes article, talked about the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, and the very things that make them successful can sometimes be the pitfalls, just the pushing yourself. Hey, Edward Smart, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like button when you come in. The very characteristics that can make a successful business person are the same things that it's a fine line. Basically, it's a fine line. Push yourself, put in the effort, put in the work, challenge yourself, always take risk, and moderate risks, but keep in mind that you want to take it easy on yourself. Make sure that I hit all the points on my notes. I didn't really write very much because, again, I wasn't planning on doing this as a live, but because I just wanted to hit some points on my notes. But since I'm at the library and I got free Wi-Fi, I thought I'd go ahead and jump in on it. Let's see. Very characteristics, linking between creativity and mental illness. Entrepreneurs are natural creators. They thrive on the unknown. Thriving on the unknown, and live to create something out of nothing, but that drive can be an increase of risk of depression and mental illness. Let's see. And then I got one other little note, that a lot of the top CEOs, they don't want to get help, because just think about it, the stigma is, if it's getting too loud out here, let me know. I will go toward the inside, but I am by a street and it's really not that noisy, but that truck that just went by was loud. My Instagram is 40 Entrepreneur DR. So it's basically my YouTube name, 40 Entrepreneur, but instead of drive, it's DR at the end, like the street drive, 40 Entrepreneur DR, one whole thing. And it was talking about how the CEOs, and like the more successful you get and the more that they achieve and the more wealth that they attain, the harder it is actually for them to get help with any depression or anxiety that they might be feeling, because I don't know if it's because they don't want it to affect their reputation, or they just feel like I'm immune to this and I don't need help, or if they think that maybe getting help, maybe it will affect how they're perceived by their peers. But it said because one person, I don't remember the name, but it said one person, he did leave and get the help, and usually what the terms that they leave under is leaving for health reasons, and that's all they say, leaving for health reasons, and that's basically a way to veil their actual reason, which is they are going through depression, whether chronic or acute depression, anxiety, or whatever other mental health issues they're having. And again, that just touches back on the stigma and the embarrassment. They never say, I'm leaving to get help for depression, I'm leaving to get help for my anxiety, I'm taking some time off to get treatment for my mental well-being. They don't say that. And it's funny because being so high up and so powerful, if the people high up will go ahead and say that, it almost sets the standard to say, hey, look, this is who I am, I need help, and it's okay to ask for help. And if other people looking up to them will see that, it will be that much more normalized, unstigmatized, and it'll be like, oh, okay, if he's getting help, I can get help. The more healthier we all are, the more we can what am I trying to say? The healthier we are, the better it is for the company. The healthier we are, the better it is for our business. The healthier we are, the better it is for our families. And that whole mentality of just push through it, sometimes it pushes back. And I know from experience, I have had help and treatment on at least 2 or 3 occasions. One of them was a nice. I had a little vacation stay, and then the other ones were maintenance visits. So they were very helpful. I think I might have mentioned it before in one of my other videos. I'll probably bring it up again because I've got a folder this thick of some of the information that I learned while I was in treatment, and it was so helpful. Is that my daughter getting ready to come out? No, okay, that's somebody else. My daughter fell asleep in there in the library, so I'm gonna wrap this up in about a couple more minutes, anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much what this live stream is about. Anybody who catches this on a replay, I would appreciate any comments or feedback that you have. Leave them in the comment section below. You don't have to put your business out there because stigma or no stigma, it is a personal preference whether a person chooses to talk about it and talks. Sleeping in the library, yeah. It is pretty quiet in there. It's really nice. When I'm signing off, I might do just a little walkthrough because it's really beautiful in there. It's really nice. I think I'm gonna move back up this way. I lived up this way for several years, and now in the Fort Worth area I'm in now, I'm not poo-pooing on Fort Worth. I'm saying my area. But anyways, so lost my train of thought. Now the mosquito's starting to eat me. Okay, now that's where we wrap it up. When I start becoming lunch and dinner, it's a wrap. Oh yeah, on the replay, anybody who wants to leave some information, comment, question, criticism on the replay in the comment section when it opens up. That's what I was saying, that you don't have to leave your personal information on there. You don't have to leave your personal information on there or any experiences or anything like that. But yeah, just wanted to touch bases on that topic. The more that I am learning about business and pushing myself and finding things out, I do have to keep in mind for my own health, because I know I have a history. It runs in my family. It's something I need to be aware of. Sometimes I need to know that it's time for me to pull back. Okay, you've done enough today. Stop. This is good enough. Sometimes good enough is good enough. The perfectionism that comes along with being an entrepreneur, and this is before I even thought about it, the perfectionism that comes along sometimes with depression itself, never knowing that you're good. You're always pushing, trying to prove yourself. Prove yourself to who? Prove yourself to yourself. Love yourself, who you are, the way you are, where you're at. You're doing the best you can, and sometimes enough is enough. Sometimes it is good enough. But, when you are able to do better, do better. I think I mentioned this in the previous video. I think I did. I think I mentioned this in the previous video that I did before, the little skit that I did. That doubt creeps in sometimes, and it's like, that's not good enough. You should have done it this way. You should have done it that way. Or, it's just so many things that sometimes we kick ourselves and criticize ourselves that it can you don't need the unnecessary stress, you don't need the unnecessary criticism. Know your limits, know what you can do, push yourself to your abilities. But once you hit that limit, it's okay to stop. It does not make you weak, it doesn't make you wrong. Limits are limits for a reason. You can push the boundaries, but don't break the boundaries. Know your limits, and then when you get strong enough and you build yourself up, then go a little bit further. When people are working out in the gym, they don't pick up the first heaviest weight they can pick up. They start with small weights and they build up those muscles, and there's small tears in those muscles until those muscles get stronger, right? When those muscles get stronger, then they go to the next thing. When they get even stronger, then they go to the next one. When people are learning to run, they don't just start off with the marathon, right? They start off with running around the block, maybe running around the block twice. Then they do a 5K. Somebody's not having a good day, oh no. Then they do a 5K, then they do a 10K, and then they do a half marathon, then the whole marathon, then the the muscle man, the gold man, the triathlon. Anyways, my point is, wherever you're at, accept where you are. Always keep that goal in mind, but take it easy. And I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to y'all, but I'm really talking to myself. Take it easy. You're not gonna do it all at once. Little by little, step by step, and you'll get there. And your mental health and your mind will thank you for it. So anyways, I'm gonna finish up. I really do appreciate you guys joining me for this quick impromptu live stream. I'm gonna see if I can turn it around. I'm gonna just walk through the library because I can't talk anymore once I go on the inside, and then I'm just gonna sign off. Thank you all for watching. I really love this library. I'll try not to show anybody because that would be kind of rude. Isn't that the coolest thing? Alright, we're almost there. This is the area I was going to record in, but it was too echoey, so I didn't want to do it. Actually, this is one of our smaller libraries. Isn't this beautiful? Hey, where'd she go? Maybe she got up and looked for me. Anyways, this is where I was at, but I didn't want to be noisy because it's really echoey in here. Okay, well, I guess my daughter has abandoned me, so it's time for me to go. She's probably waiting for me in the car. This is Hurst, Texas. It's just outside of Fort Worth. I would show you my library card, but I forgot it at home. Maybe I'll take a picture and leave it on the thumbnail. In other words, I'll see you guys later. Bye. She was right here. She abandoned me. I guess she's ready to go home.